They wait till everything's gone and then they set up lights.
Right. So they set up some floodlights or some perimeter lights or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine how dark this place was without those lights, but I've been in pretty dark places like that. So they set these lights up, Steve,
Mm-hmm.
and literally one day after they set these up, it starts getting strange. And the first thing was somebody banged on the door really hard in the middle of the night, scared everybody. These old boys jump up, grab their weapons, open up, who's banging on my door at 3 o'clock in the morning, open it up,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't see anything, right? There's nothing out there, right? And I was like, okay. This goes on for several other, nights consecutive. And again, I thought this story was going to be a dud when I was reading this, right? Because I'm like, now I'm convinced it's a dude. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm convinced, like, somebody's banging on your door. To me, when I first read it, I don't know what about you, bro?
I mean, knowing that it was a Bigfoot story,
right?
I was like, okay, there's just something happening. But yeah, if I hadn't known that, so far I'm thinking it's just a prankster or just rowdy neighbors, something like that,
So I guess I'm wearing my skeptic hat today because I even knew it was a Bigfoot story. And I'm like, these jokers are lying, man. Deer, chickens, lights, bang, nothing's going on, right? Well, I spoiler alert, I'm proved to be wrong here fairly hard. And this story goes. So anyways, this goes on for several nights. And then they started really amping up. And this is when I would start to say, okay, like, so we got a problem here. Like on night 3 of the lights being on, they started chucking rocks at their house, right? From the tree line, right? And it's hitting their roof, it's hitting their porch or whatever. And basically just harassing them. And then the other family members, especially the children, right? Started to in the wee hours of the morning when they were getting up and going out, the dawn hours, they were reporting that they were seeing hairy figures within the tree line. Not just one, like multiple ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that's weird, right? And one of them, I think one of the kids, I don't have their ages or I don't have their names. I wouldn't tell it anyways, but one of them was reporting that, not only are they seeing them, these things, they call them like basically ugly gorillas, were staring at them. They wanted them to see them. Like these weren't the ones hiding behind the trees or, going blurry, right? They were stepping out, right? And they wanted the kids to see them and they wanted the women to see them, right? And there was one instance that I found was really strange, is that despite all that, they still played. These kids were still outside playing. And like, I'm like, Parent of the Year awards, like you right?
Yeah, and even at this point, again, I'm already gone at this point. I'm thinking, if I'm seeing large hairy figures outside and they're throwing rocks at my house and banging on the door, I'm gone.
You're leaving.
I don't care.
You're taking off.
I'm out.
Yeah.
That house is on the market at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I saw why you got it for $10 now, right? So they were out there, and one of the things that made me think for like a half a second that this was something more than like the Bigfoots was that one of them reported hearing growling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you catch that part? The girl, something was growling at her near the trees?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of a Bigfoot growl before, but I heard of dog man growling before. And also, too, like these guys had hunting dogs that refused to go on certain places of the property and would not go on certain hunting trails, right? They would, freak out and they wouldn't go. I've never heard that with with Bigfoots before, but I've heard several stories about how dogs won't go near dog men, right?
Mm.
So, yeah. That right there is like, okay, to me, that's be like, you know what, man, we got a problem here. We got this, we got something's going on. That ain't a dude. It ain't a couple of hillbillies down the street, right? So, but right here, man, is when I think that it gets really, starts crossing a line. So far, you've only took chickens, deers, you've thrown some rocks. And I would say up to that point, man, I would even classify that as, because we have this channel, typical Bigfoot territorial display, right? Mm-hmm. Throw some rocks at you, I'll steal your chickens or whatever or whatnot, something, right? But nothing I would say that was just, make me flee until this night. And go ahead.
Before you jump into that, because I know where you're going with this, one thing that I saw as an aside, while this same time was happening, before things really ramped up, but while the Bigfoots were coming and hitting the doors, throwing the rocks, during that same time period, a woman in her, I don't have a name, who was in her 60s, who lived in Honobia, actually disappeared. She disappeared in the woods, and she was never seen again.
What?
So that kind of,
Oh, heck no. In a town of 150 people, a 60-year-old woman is lost in the woods.
Yes, disappeared, gone, never seen again. Again, around the same time that these supposed Bigfoots were ramping up some aggression. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. So there you go, man. Like, okay, right? Add that to the list, bro. So yeah, the 3-year-old girl. Well, that makes them even more scarier to me now. Right now, they got a confirmed kill under their belts, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, an old 6-year-old lady. Like, what'd she do?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
poor woman.
Yeah, exactly, right? Just picking blackberries, man. All right. So, anyways, that's messed up. The 3-year-old's playing in her bedroom, whatever. Looks up, and there's a face staring at her through the window, and she claimed that it was a large, ugly gorilla peering through the window. I actually had somebody send me a picture of what looks like a pitch black Bigfoot staring through a window on a farmhouse. He tried to tell me that this was the incident, and I'm just like, I was like, I don't know, man. Like, the 3-year-old girl took a camera. I got the picture. I'm not going to put it in this thing, man. But I was like, okay, it does look like a Bigfoot staring through a window. I just don't think it's this Bigfoot staring through that window. So probably freaking is though. But anyways, I'm not throwing it up on the screen. But I'm just letting you know that I have one. She runs in there. She tells her mom, "Oh my God, this is going on. Freak out, freak out, freak out." Mom's finally had enough, man. She's like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this stuff, man. I want to leave. The boys are like, no, you know what, man? We're all in on this property. We're not going to go anywhere. We'll
subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.